Big news is coming out of Maranello, and it seems Ferrari has set its sights on a bold strategy for the upcoming seasons. The 2025 season might be crucial, but all eyes are on the monumental changes coming in 2026. So, is Ferrari hedging its bets for the long haul, or can they compete in the present while preparing for the future? The race to build the next generation of Formula One cars officially began on January 1st, 2025. Every team from Ferrari to Sauber is gearing up for a fresh start under the revolutionary 2026 regulations. According to Alpine's technical director David Sanchez, these new rules are an opportunity for everyone, even the smallest teams. Sanchez even hinted last year that the new regulations could push teams to sacrifice a season just to start from scratch. This means teams are juggling two major projects, their 2025 car and the 2026 Challenger. The key question is how to split resources between the two without falling behind. And one thing is clear, the wind tunnel allocation system based on constructors' standings will play a massive role in shaping the pecking order. Ferrari's technical director Loic Serra is leading the charge with one eye on 2025 and another firmly on 2026. Having officially taken over the reins in Maranello on October 1st, Serra has been meticulously planning resource distribution. He's even carved out a dedicated team of engineers solely focused on 2026 development, a move that shows just how seriously Ferrari is taking this transition. For now, though, the priority in Maranello remains clear, the 2025 season. Ferrari has 900 wind tunnel hours for the first half of the year, thanks to their second-place finish in the constructors' standings last season. To put this in perspective, Ferrari gets 60 more hours than McLaren, but 60 fewer than Red Bull. These hours will be revised mid-season based on the standings after the Canadian Grand Prix on June 23rd. Out of these 900 hours, Ferrari plans to dedicate roughly 600 to their 2025 car, the SF25, with 180 of those hours at higher speeds exceeding 54 kilometers an hour. This allocation is essential as the SF25 is expected to be significantly different from its predecessor, the SF24. Add to that the challenge of adapting to the FIA's new technical directive, which mandates changes to the wings before the Spanish Grand Prix, and you can see why Ferrari is laser focused on getting their 2025 car right. Meanwhile, modernisation work on Ferrari's wind tunnel is underway and is expected to be completed by the summer. This upgraded facility will play a pivotal role in the development of both the SF25 and the all-important 2026 Challenger. While Ferrari is splitting its focus, several midfield teams like Sauber, soon to be Audi, Racing Bulls and Haas are going all in on 2026. According to insiders, these teams have already allocated over 50% of their resources to the new regulations and plan to shift entirely to 2026 development by May. But there's a catch. The FIA's new technical directive, TD18, could throw a wrench into their plans. Adapting to these changes will demand additional resources and may force teams to rethink their 2025 car designs. This balancing act is particularly challenging for smaller teams which already operate on tighter budgets. One team that stands out in this context is Cadillac. The American newcomer, set to debut in 2026 under the General Motors banner, has a whopping 1,380 wind tunnel hours at its disposal. That's a massive advantage over established teams like Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull. With this head start, Cadillac could disrupt the F1 hierarchy in a way very few expect. While smaller teams are diving headfirst into 2026, Ferrari is adopting a more measured approach. The plan is to gradually shift focus to their 2026 car as the 2025 season progresses. By the second half of the year, we can expect a more balanced distribution of resources between the two projects. Interestingly, Haas, which uses Ferrari's wind tunnel continues to benefit from its association with Maranello. The American team has 1,200 wind tunnel hours this season and is leveraging this to refine its 2025 car. Meanwhile, Ferrari has decided not to use its new pull rod front suspension design for the 2025 season, signalling a more conservative approach to innovation for now. The ongoing debate over the FIA's regulations has sparked criticism from multiple quarters. Some argue that the governing body's focus on technical directives and penalties is taking away from more pressing issues like the ever-growing calendar. With up to 26 races potentially on the horizon, drivers and teams are under immense pressure, both physically and mentally. Even Ferrari's development strategy is being shaped by these external factors. The team must balance the need to stay competitive in 2025 with the long-term goal of dominating under the 2026 regulations. It's, of course, a very delicate tightrope to walk, and any misstep could have significant consequences. Amid all the technical talk, one piece of news has given Ferrari fans a reason to smile. Seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton recently made comments suggesting he sees Ferrari as a potential powerhouse in the coming years. While it's unlikely that Hamilton will switch teams at this stage in his career, his words reflect the respect and recognition Ferrari commands in the F1 world. Hamilton's perspective also underscores the broader narrative. Ferrari has the tools, talent and legacy to succeed. The question is whether they can capitalize on these assets to navigate the challenges ahead. Hamilton seems genuinely thrilled to be at Ferrari, and honestly, whether he's the one fighting for the Drivers' Championship or it's Leclerc doesn't even matter. As long as he snags a couple of wins, it's a massive win for both him and the team. Just imagine getting a race win with McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari. That's the kind of achievement that cements your legacy, driving for the most iconic teams in F1 history. Not many drivers can even dream of pulling that off. Even Johnny Herbert can't hide his enthusiasm, predicting that Hamilton's arrival will spark a season full of memorable moments. There are going to be so many lovely stories this year with Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari and the excitement that's brought, Herbert said, calling it the perfect scenario for the seven-time world champion. At 40 years old, Hamilton isn't just here for the ride. He's laser-focused on chasing history, a record-breaking 8th world title. According to Herbert, Hamilton's hunger for greatness has never been stronger. When you've got one of the greatest drivers we've ever seen in Formula One, as in Lewis Hamilton, let's hope it all comes together for him, he said. He's very motivated. But can Hamilton break Ferrari's title drought, which stretches all the way back to Kimi Raikkonen's triumph in 2007? The Tifosi are desperate for a return to glory, and with Ferrari's steady improvement over the past two seasons, there's genuine belief that 2025 could be their year. Herbert also highlighted the importance of Hamilton's winter reset, emphasizing how crucial it is for a driver of his caliber to recharge before the grind of a new season. The motivation of Lewis is always very important, Herbert explained. To go away in the winter, have a bit of a reboot and come back all fresh and motivated is so important. From what Lewis has been saying so far, his motivation is definitely not lacking. Of course, a big question mark hangs over the 2025 Ferrari Challenger. With the new chassis set to debut soon, Hamilton's first real test will come during pre-season testing. The Italian team has made steady gains, narrowing the gap to Red Bull and McLaren, but the true measure will be how competitive the car is right out of the gate. As we look ahead to the 2025 and 2026 seasons, it's clear that Ferrari is playing a long game. The team's dual-focus strategy might seem risky, but it does also highlight their commitment to staying competitive in the short term while building a solid foundation for the future. What do you think of Ferrari's strategy? Can they balance the demands of 2025 while preparing for a 2026 breakthrough? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, give us a like and subscribe.